Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I've created this pink cut crease look for this Valentine's Day, which by the time this goes up, it will be just around the corner. January was such a short month. Did anyone else think it was? I felt like January went so quickly. But anyway, I used the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette to create this look. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then please keep on watching. Before we get started, you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're updated every time I upload a video. But otherwise, let's get straight into this tutorial. Okay, so today I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I absolutely love this palette because it comes with a mirror, but also because it has these like really pink purple sort of tones in there. It has some reds in there as well, which is what makes it perfect for this Valentine's Day look. To start off, you want to make sure that your eyes are already primed. To do that, I've used my L'Oreal True Match Concealer, and this is in the shade 3DW. I've just applied that to my eyelids and my brow bone, and then I've set it using the Desert Sand colour from the Huda Beauty palette. You can use a face setting powder as well if you prefer, or you can use an eyeshadow that's very close to your complexion. So this will create a smooth base for your eyeliner, for your eyeshadows. I have applied some tape on the edges of my eye because I want it to be quite sharp. So using my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, I am going to start off with the shade Eden, which is this peachy tone, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. I'm going to use my Zoeva Luxe Crease brush, and this is the 228 brush. And then using the side that's a bit more concentrated with the product, I'm going to apply that to my crease. And I'm using circular motions on the outer crease and then windscreen wiper motions to drag the colour to the inner crease. I have done an in-depth tutorial of where I explain how I apply my eyeshadows on my deep set eyes. So if you'd like to see that, I'm going to link it in this video so you can have a look later. And then whatever colour is left on my brush, I'm just going to drag it to the outer edge of my brow. And this colour I'm also dragging to the outer third of my eyelid. So that looks okay on that side. So now I'm just going to repeat the same on the left. Using the same 228 brush, I'm going to dip into the shades Saffron and Amber. So that's this one here and Amber, which is this one here. And I'm going to start from the outer crease, slightly lower than the previous transition. No! Scratch that. I am going to use the shade Amethyst, which is the purple shade here, and I'm going to apply that into the crease. Hopefully this turns out okay. I'm going to apply that to the crease and then drag the colour out to the outer edge of your brow. Now I'm going to use my Real Techniques 203 brush, and I'm just going to blend or buff the edges. Now using my Luxe Petite Crease brush, this is the 231, now I'm going to dip into the shades Saffron, which is this one, and the shade Amber. And I'm going to apply this to the lower crease and then drag it to the outer edge of the brow again. Each time you do this, you want to keep the eyeshadows in line with the rest of your lid, if that makes sense. So this one, this shade, since I've started pretty low, as I take it out to the edge of the brow, I'm going to take it out low as well. The other shade, since I started in the middle there, I ended up in the middle of that space. And the first shade, the transition shade, I ended up right up close to my brow. Since this is a cut crease look, I am going to take this shade quite close to the inner corner of my crease, but still not all the way in. And then using my Zoeva Luxe Define Crease, this is the 224 brush, just going to blend the edges. So now it's time to cut the crease, and to do that I'm going to use my fine liner brush. This is from Real Techniques, Using some concealer on the back of my hand, I'm going to use my L'Oreal concealer again. I love that this concealer comes with a brush, so I've got a generous amount of concealer there. So now all you need to do is you want to saturate your brush with the concealer. This is by far the easiest technique I can show you on how to create a cut crease. Once you've got enough concealer on the back on this brush, you need to start outlining your crease. So and then you can use the same brush, or you can use a shader brush to conceal the rest of your eyelid space. You can use a different brush to set the rest of your eyelid with some concealer. So I'm using my Morphe shader brush. This is a synthetic shader brush. You can set this with a neutral eyeshadow, or you can set it with your face setting powder. I'm going to use an eyeshadow, so I'm going back to the Desert Sand shade, which is this one here, and I'm just going to set the concealed area. You want to be very delicate when you're doing this because you don't want to move the concealer anywhere. So this is the easiest technique I can show you on how to cut your crease. I have done a video on how to do a cut crease before, so if you'd like to see that, I'll have that linked in this video as well. So now using the Zoeva Luxe Petite Crease Brush, the 231 brush again, I'm going to use only the shade Saffron, and I'm going to drag this over the concealed area here. Actually, a bit of amber as well. So now I'm going to use my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and I'm just going to spray a few spritz on this Zoeva Detail brush. This is the 237 brush. So using the sprayed side of the brush, I'm going to dip into the shade Angelic, which is this golden pink shade here. It's quite a rose gold shade. I'm going to apply that to the majority of my eyelid. Okay, and now using the same brush, I'm going to spray a few spritz of the setting spray again, and then using the shade Turkish Delight, which is this beautiful deep pink sort of shade here, I'm going to apply that around the outer concealed area. And then using the Zoeva 224 brush again, just going to blend these edges, and you want to do this using a really light hand. So now the eyes are done, almost done. I'm going to take off the tape. So now my eye makeup is almost done. I'm going to do my base and then come back to the eyes. If you prefer doing it the other way around, if you prefer doing your entire eye and then doing the base, that's absolutely fine, but I just find this a bit more easier. I'm going to start by using my YSL Touche Eclat foundation, and this is in the shade BD50, and I'm just going to apply that to my face. So I'm avoiding the under eye area as usual because I am going to apply some colour corrector and concealer. My face is looking very pale. Now using my Bobbi Brown colour corrector in the shade Deep Peach, I'm going to apply this under my eyes, and this will cancel out any dark circles I have. Now that's done, I'm going to use my L'Oreal True Match concealer, and I'm going to apply this under my eyes, on my forehead, halfway down the bridge of my nose, and my chin. And then using my beauty sponge again, I'm just going to buff that onto my skin. So now that I'm looking quite ghostly, just going to set my ghost face with some Becca Multitasking Perfecting Powder. I remember when I bought this powder, I was quite disappointed with its size because it's so much smaller than my MAC Studio Fix powder, but a little goes a long way. I still haven't hit pan, and I've been using this for such a long time, I think more than a year now. And to bring some warmth back to my face, I'm going to use my Hoola by Benefit bronzer. I'm going to bronze my forehead. You can use some cream contour if you'd like. I think when I use it, it just makes my makeup look a bit too heavy. so I prefer using just the bronzer. With my bronzers, I've always liked blending it up instead of blending it just straight across, because that will leave a harsh line no matter how much you blend. Doing it this way, you're brushing any excess product up to your cheeks. Going to do the same on this side as well. I've been breaking out so much on this side. Can you see the amount of spots I've got? That's just a scar, but I've got 1, 2, 3 just on my contour line. I'm going to bronze my nose slightly. So now that's done, I'm going to blush my cheeks, and I'm using my YSL Blush Radiance. This is a peachy shade. I don't know the number of this. I think it's a number 3. Oh, it's a 2. It's a number 2. Now using my NYX Strobe of Genius palette, I'm going to use these 2 shades on each end of the palette. And using my Morphe large shader brush, I find that this works absolutely amazingly when applying highlight. I'm going to apply it to the highest of my cheeks. And then if you have any excess, using the clean side of the brush, you can just get rid of any excess. And then to blend it out, using the clean side of the brush again and just making it look a bit more subtle. And then just using the lighter shade, I'm going to highlight my Cupid's bow. So now my base is done, I'm going to go back to the eyes. I'm going to start by applying some eyeshadow to the lower lash line. So to start, I'm using the shade Eden on my Morphe, I think it's a fluffy crease brush. So I'm using the same technique that I used in the upper crease. I'm taking this colour all the way into the inner corner. I have mentioned why in my previous eyeshadow video. And then dipping the brush straight into the shade Amethyst, which is the purple shade I used earlier. And now that both of those shades are done, I'm going to go in with Amber and Saffron. And I'm going to apply that with a flat top brush by Morphe. And I'm only going to go in 2/3 of the way, not all the way to the inner corner. If you want, you can leave your eye like this and just apply some mascara, some false eyelashes and a lippy, and you're good to go. But if not, if you'd like to add some eyeliner, I'm just going to quickly do this. So I'm using my Maybelline Mastering Satin Eyeliner. So I didn't realise my camera got turned off, so I've quickly applied my Benefit They're Real mascara, and I've applied my Carmen lashes by Huda Beauty. So now I'm going to use the same mascara on my lower lashes as well. Finally, for some lipstick, I'm going to use my ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Prim, and this is a cute little bottle here. You can go for something a lot lighter than this. This is quite a plummy pink shade, but if you'd like something a bit lighter, then go for it. I'm just going for a really dark lip today. I forgot to apply some highlight, so I'm going to use this shade here, and I'm going to apply that to the inner corners and my brow bone as well. And then if you'd like to clean up some of the inner crease, then you can do using the same shade you used to set your concealer. And then using the Real Techniques brush, just lightly blend the edges there. So now this is the final look. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you recreate this for Valentine's Day as well. If you do, then make sure you tag me so I can have a look at your recreations. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good Valentine's Day, whether you're celebrating it with special ones or you're celebrating it alone. I, for one, will be working on that day, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!